What's going on, everyone? Today, we've got a very special episode for you. Zach and I have a conversation with natural bodybuilding competitor Cole Rosebrough. At the time of recording, Cole is just 3 days out from stepping on stage at his next competition, which makes this conversation kind of unique. Cole gives us an insider's view of how he's feeling at the absolute deepest part of his prep, where he's at an incredible level of leanness and currently at the point of peaking for a show that's barely 72 hours away. For anyone watching who's interested in natural bodybuilding, who's a prospective competitor, or someone who's competed multiple times already, I think you're going to absolutely love this episode. You're going to get a lot of relatability from it. You're going to get a clear perspective of what it's like to be this deep in a prep, which I think is kind of cool. Before we dive in, if you enjoyed the episode, please consider giving it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out. All right, get ready for an incredible episode. Let's dive in. All right, so Cole, Zach and I are very excited to talk with you. One of the reasons that we're very excited is because we're catching you as you are just 3 days out from your next natural bodybuilding competition, which is kind of cool. You are like right in the middle of your peak week, right at the tail end of prep. We know how that often feels. It's pretty crazy. So I know that I'm super excited to get to hear more about kind of what you're feeling right now in this moment at the tail end of prep, so close to competing. I know that both Zach and I are excited to talk about your past competition as well, which was not that long ago. It was just back in March, and about how preparing for this competition might be a little bit different than the competition prior, and getting to hear a little bit more about you and what the process has been like so far. So I'm very excited. I guess to kick things off, you're 3 days out right now. How are you feeling?
So, last prep, I'll just start off with I heard when I was backstage, people were like, prep brain this, prep brain that. I was like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Like, I feel fine. And then yesterday, so 4 days out, I woke up and I was like, oh my, I know exactly what they were talking about. I just felt like a cartoon character looking over my shoulder, like out of my body. Like, I was so tired and I still feel that way, and like the brain clarity is not there. But like I know that it's Wednesday now, show's Saturday. Got to keep grinding and just continue following the process. So the energy levels are very low, but I'm just pushing through day by day. God has a plan for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
The prep brain is, yeah, it's something, that's for sure.
It's
Can
definitely
you,
real.
yeah, I can imagine. Can you elaborate on it a little bit more for those who maybe they haven't experienced it before, or just to give a little bit of relatability to other people that might also be prepping right now and are also experiencing something similar? Like, can you describe it in more detail? I know you mentioned that you're tired and maybe
Yeah.
there's some like mental cloudiness, but what exactly have you been feeling?
So what I've been feeling is like it might sound cliche or something, but like I'll be thinking of something to do something, like say, oh, I need to go on my phone and check this. And then like I pull out my phone and I'm like, what am I even doing on my phone? Like I don't have anything. I can't think straight. Obviously I can, but you know what I mean. But usually I'm a pretty like active going person. Like I always like to be moving. But like after the gym or something, or after like a meal, I'm just like, all right, like, I'm dog tired. Like, I'm gonna sit down for a little bit. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like I said earlier, I just feel outside of my body, like euphoric feeling. I've
Do
never
you have that?
experienced it before. So
Yeah. Do you have that feeling where you get to kind of the end of the day, or you get a moment to relax, you sit on the couch, you maybe watch something on Netflix or YouTube, and then like it's just tough to like unglue yourself from the couch just to like get up?
Yeah, I'll even like turn off the TV and be like, all right, I'm getting up, and then I just sit there and just I'm in my thoughts, like, just sitting there, just like I don't want to move. Even though my couch is like 5 steps from my bedroom and I can go to sleep at night, but like I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna chill here. I don't feel like moving.
What is your sleep been like? Have you found that at this stage of your prep that it's been affected?
So I know like since I want to say, well, March I competed back with Zach, and I didn't really, I mean, I think I stepped on stage there at 171, maybe. I don't remember exactly. It was in the 170s. And then I got up to 187 between March and now. I'm back down to 173, but I've always been lean. And what I've read is the leaner you are, less body fat you have, the worse sleep you have. And I can definitely tell that it's true because my sleep is not very good. The only time that I get good sleep is when I am because I'm in the Coast Guard, so I'll work 2 on, 2 off, sliding weekends, and, like, when I'm coming off that Wednesday morning, that Wednesday night, I'll sleep good because 'cause I'm tired as crap from Monday, Tuesday, but then Thursday and Friday, it's like I sleep like crap again, like, until I'm the first night back off work is the first time, like, typically the best sleep. I say best sleep, it's probably 6 hours tossing and turning still, but that's still better than 4 hours tossing and turning.
Yeah.
I've another quick question on that, Zach. I want to. I know you got some questions too. Just really quick. As far as the sleep goes, like what kind of patterns have you seen as far as like you mentioned like some of your best sleeps are like 6 hours, like that's a good sleep. I know for me, like my last prep, for example, my sleep was really weird in that like I would finish the work that I had in the day, I'd do my workout, get all my meals in. I would basically get on the couch at like 7 p.m. and like fall asleep on the couch at like 30 minutes later and then go to bed but then wake up. Like I would have no trouble falling asleep
That's
and staying
exactly how I
asleep.
am.
But then I would wake up at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning and then just, well, I guess the day started from there.
So
So
I
like
typically
that's
sorry,
go ahead.
go ahead. So I typically want to be in bed no later. Like 9:30 is like my want to be in bed, like no later than that. I'll accept depending on if I'm hanging out with someone or something, 10 o'clock, 10:30 depends. But if I'm home alone, no later than 9:30, I want to be lights out sleep. I'll fall asleep quick. Then I'll wake up. It's every night, 12:24. 12:24, wide awake. Like I have to look at my phone, make sure that it's not morning because I feel well rested. That's only like a couple hours. And then I look at my phone and it's 12:24. I'm like, I just had the best sleep of my life, but it's only been 3 hours. And then after that, it's toss, turn, can't get comfortable, can't stay asleep.
Mhm.
It's horrible. So I can fall asleep perfectly fine, but I just can't stay asleep.
It's tough. Zach, do you
Yeah, no,
can
I
you
just yeah, I was just like so you mentioned, the show that we had back in March, how you didn't really have this and now you did, and the difference in the fatigue, the brain fog and everything else. I guess kind of even backing up more than that, can you give us a little just a quick like maybe background what got you into your idea to first compete? Did you have like an athletic background? You mentioned you're in the Coast Guard, so obviously physical and things like that. So kind of like a quick like journey, what got you into fitness, specifically bodybuilding, to do that first show. And then I think from there we can maybe kind of start talking about how that prep difference in this prep and how that experience was. But did you have a background in like sports or fitness growing
Yeah,
up?
I'll get into all that. So I'll make this it's quite long, but I'll try to summarize some. So high school, I played soccer, football, and volleyball. Loved being athletic. Hated being home. But when I was gone, I wanted to be at a sports event. It wasn't like going running around doing stupid stuff. It was I wanted to be at a soccer tournament. I wanted to play in sports. If I didn't have practice or a game, I wanted to be playing pickup basketball or football, or some sort of sport, pickleball, tennis, you name it. But so it's 2025 now. I went to the police academy in 2021, and before that, I didn't really work out too much. Like, I mean, I worked out, but not like 6 times a week like I do now. It was like, all right, let me go work out for an hour Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. It was
Mhm.
every now and then. It wasn't really serious. And then I went to the academy and I met these two dudes. They were huge, and they got me into the gym, and I instantly fell in love with it. And that was the heaviest I got to. I was trying to push over 200. I was eating like crazy. Like, you name it, I was eating it. I could not get over 200. Left the academy at 199. I could not get over 200. And then when I got home, I was like, all right, I'm addicted to the gym now. And then I got put on night shift. And when I got off night shift, I stayed on night shift. So on my days off, I was up at night and everyone was asleep. So that's when I would go into the gym. And then I was like, all right, night shift kind of gets depressing when you're not used to it. So I started losing some weight and I started leaning out, and I was like, all right, let me start tracking my food. So I started tracking my food. And then I was like, I did that for 2 years, tracking food and working out consistently. And I was like, why am I tracking my food and working out so hard if I'm not putting it to anything? And then I moved down here to North Carolina, and I walked into the gym, and the manager, he was big, and I was like, interesting. Wonder if he coaches or competes or anything. And so like a month or two went by, and then I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I seen your Instagram. Uh, and on his Instagram, he had photos of him competing and coaching and stuff. So I reached out to him and started working with him. And then that was August of 24. So I guess 3 years went by in that span of me just tracking and working out hard and not putting anything to it. And I was always been goal driven.
Mhm.
So why work so hard just to not achieve something? And I mean, obviously I achieved a good physique in my eyes, but like I wanted to achieve maybe, like, I don't know, when you go and play sports, you're trying to win championship or something.
Mhm.
So like that's what people push for, and that's what I'm pushing for now.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was just gonna say I know that feeling. I mean, I've been lifting since I was quite young, but it ignited a special spark in me too when someone first suggested like, "Hey, you should consider doing a competition." I was like, I can like aim myself towards like some specific milestone goal with like this fitness thing that I really love, and it kind of gave me some extra focus, something that I was really excited. That made me even more excited about like the prospect of building muscle and getting in better shape. But
Mhm. Mhm. I
so
like that you
go ahead,
Oh, go
Zach.
ahead, Sam. I was gonna say, I like that you mentioned goal oriented. We've talked about this on a couple different episodes. I'm also very goal oriented. So you met your the guy at the gym, your coach trainer, and so what kind of sparked? Okay, hey, I'm going to do the show that we first met at in March, and then can you maybe describe like the difference in that training and prep that for your first experience and what you had been doing in the last 3 years, getting lean, getting muscular, compared to what you had to do to prepare for a show?
So when I first so I'll backtrack a little bit. So when I was working out before I met him, I got like leaner, more of doing it was more of a what's it called? More of a cardio style. Like I would do a lot more cardio just because I was on night shift. So when I was off, I would have no one to talk to because everyone was asleep. So
Mhm.
I would go on hours walks. That's what my cardio was just I would go to the treadmill, station's treadmill, and just walk. Throw on TV, old games or something, and just walk. Just
Mhm.
and that's kind of how I lost the weight there. And then when I was prepping for my first show, it was less, it was more weightlifting training more than like cardio, and more sculpting that way instead of doing a lot more cardio.
Mhm.
And I feel like weightlifting is definitely more taxing because you're putting more strain on your muscles than just walking to get lean. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you getting into that first prep more deeply? How did you find the process? Like, did anything about doing that prep surprise you? Was it more challenging than you had initially expected something like a bodybuilding prep to be? What was your overall experience like of doing that first prep?
So the first prep, I mean, I thought it was going to be harder, honestly. Because like I said, I've been fairly lean. So, and I only eat whole foods. I do not touch a processed food. I do not touch sugar. I can't tell you the last time I ate out. After that first show, I went home, showered, and made a home cooked meal because I don't like eating out that much. Saturday,
Mhm.
probably going to be a different story because I'm going to be out of town. But, and this prep feels different, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be like more mentally draining. Like we talked about earlier, the first
Mhm.
prep, I didn't really have prep brain. So I was expecting to get it, but I never got it. So maybe that's why that one felt so easy. But
Mhm.
this one's definitely harder.
Yeah.
And I think this one's harder because I, I'll dive into it a little bit. I actually go overseas at the end of November. So this will be my last show for a year, unless
Mhm.
I do one over there, but next year I want to take off and have a whole growing year. So
Nice.
I'm busting my ass this prep to do something good on this show on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure we'll show up some photos of it in the video afterwards or whatever, but you look absolutely peeled now. And we were talking about it a little bit before we went live, the before and after, the 3 days out to 3 days out. I mean, it's crazy the difference. And honestly, you could probably give me some good advice. Sam's done a ton of shows, and I'm doing my second one, the same show that we did in Wilmington. I'm doing that one in February. And I think I messaged you. I was joking. I'm glad that you'll be gone, so I don't have to lose to you because you look like a monster right now.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess from your perspective, and maybe give me some pointers for how you approached, how you're approaching the second show from the first show.
Mm. So to start off, I I knew going into the first show that my posing was not there. Like I knew it. I knew that was my flaw. But this show, I've definitely jacked that up a ton because you can have the physique, but if
Mhm.
you can't pose, you're not gonna get placed, you know. But I don't even know good tips. I mean, just staying consistent. Like days are gonna suck, but
Mhm.
there's always, like we said earlier, we're both goal driven. So just focus on that goal. And my goal is to place high because this is my last show for at least a year, and I'm giving it my all. So I'll after a weightlifting session, if I got to do cardio and I don't feel like it, it's gonna get done no matter what. Like even if I contemplate it, it's getting done. Like today, for instance, I finished my workout and I sat on the stairs probably 15, 20 minutes, just like, I don't want to do this. I do not want to do this. And then I was like, you know what? It's 3 days away. I'm doing it. Like, and then I got done. So I just think of the goal that I'm trying to achieve.
Mhm.
And then once I start thinking of that, then my mind's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Um, Two questions off that real quick. So you mentioned the posing, and Sam and I have talked about this a lot, and that was something I underestimated as well. And I'm definitely going to start practicing earlier and more often. Does your coach also do the posing for you as well? Did you reach out to like a posing coach or have done any of those like posing clinics, or how have you tried to work on that more?
So my coach, he doesn't necessarily do men's physique
Mhm.
uh posing because he's a classic guy, but he has other people that do men's physique, and he shot me my name to them, and we connected that way.
Okay. And did you do that for the first show or no?
No, we did that for
Okay.
this show.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? I feel like because I worked with a guy, Brandon, who we've had on the episode. I think I did 3 sessions with him, and after I did those 3, I immediately signed up for another 3 because I was like, "Oh crap, I am not ready at all," and just had to throw some stuff together. And so I'm
You
looking
still
forward to
killed it
this next
though.
one. No, I appreciate it. No, it's I don't know. I like to say it's the musician in me, maybe the showmanship of it, the
Yeah.
artistic aspect.
Yeah.
Because Sam and I have talked about that. The bodybuilding, some of us might not necessarily care or um, really buy into the posing of it. I think once you learn to enjoy it, like you said, you put all this great work in, you have to show it off. And like the minute I accepted that, like let's have fun with this. And we had an episode where I didn't like posing in the gym and stuff like that. But now it's like, yeah, I'll do a posing session out afterwards in the mirror room and just keep working on it. So yeah, no, it's definitely I'm excited for this next one to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah. When I first started posing in the mirrors at the gym, I was like, my confidence, like, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I wish it was closed. Like, can I get in afterwards? But now
Yeah,
it's like my confidence went up. So it's definitely helped a lot for sure.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Would you have Sam?
Yeah, something I'm curious about is what you've done differently between your prior show and this show. And like, so for example, you didn't experience the prep brain for the first show, or like maybe the extra level of hunger perhaps that you're experiencing right now. So have you been I think like from what I'm gathering, like you're digging deeper now. And also from what
100%.
I've seen that you've posted, like there's a pretty significant difference between this show versus your last show. Like you're leaner right now, you're tighter, you've dug harder. So I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit more about that. Like what have you done since that last show? Like have you been just steadily trotting along the fat loss process? Like, have you just been aiming to get leaner and leaner? Has
Yeah.
anything else changed? I know that you've been something that you just described as you're doing what you got to do on the days you're super tired. You're still getting in the training sessions and doing the stuff that you don't necessarily want to do. But I'm wondering what you've been doing to kind of dig deeper. I wanted to quickly interrupt this episode to let you know about the Natural Bodybuilding Society. It's a special community that I host on Discord that's exclusive to natural bodybuilders. The community is meant to be a special place for natural bodybuilders to connect, find relatability, learn from each other, make friends, share progress, and support each other. If you're a natural bodybuilder watching right now thinking, hey, this sounds pretty sweet, then you should join. Just hit the link in the description below, join the group, and I'll see you in there.
I like cardio. Like, I like doing it, like, no matter what. Like, obviously, it sucks right now because calories are lower, but like when they were high and it was listed to do it X amount of times a week, I was still doing it because I love doing it. Like, I love doing it to warm up and I love doing it to cool down. So that's definitely helped get more tight and um, helps burn more calories. And last show, it was do cardio X times this period, but this time, like, it says do it X times. Sorry, coach. I do it daily. I just love it. And I try to hit 15K steps a day.
Nice.
So that also helps too. And then my work schedule, I'm always on my feet, so that's helping a lot too. And yeah, I mean,
So activity levels super, super high. Go ahead,
yeah,
Zach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you like when it comes to the actual like training, have you maybe focused on certain things, maybe worked on technique, optimized stuff, or is maybe like kind of the weightlifting and the strength training like kind of all stayed the same? Or have you maybe said, hey, I need to work on some things?
so yeah, definitely. I want to say after last show, me and my coach sat down and we came up with a split that was
Mhm.
different. We did push pull legs last time. This time we cut out legs twice a week and more focused on obviously upper body for men's physique. So I forgot exactly what the split was, but because we just changed it not too long ago because my energy levels dropped, so we made it less taxing on me. But I was definitely targeting my back way more and my shoulders a lot. And then I continue to do abs daily as well.
Yeah, yeah. Is your how's your diet? Is it a little bit more dialed in? Are you like lower calories in general, or are you maybe just a little bit more precise with your tracking and eating?
So my calories, they're higher this prep.
Nice.
Um, Last prep, I want to say they got down to 1850, but this prep before peak week, they were no lower than 2700. And just with my activity levels and stuff, it was it was filling. So because 2700, you can get a pretty good day's worth, and then I wasn't losing too much weight because we kind of paced it, like lose certain amount because I was already lean, so I didn't need to really lose too much weight. We cut them down. I say peak week, maybe a week or two ago, we cut them down to like 2350 or 2500. Nothing too
Mhm,
dramatic, but
mhm.
they've definitely been way higher this prep, and I'm super
Nice.
grateful for that.
Yeah, I need to master that. Sam, note that for me, okay?
um, Something that I'm really curious about at the stage that you're at right now, and that because you've been digging, been digging for a while, and you mentioned that so your activity level's high. Your calories are higher than they have been in the past, but even so, like you're in a deficit. Your body fat percentage is really low right now, so like you're feeling it even with like the 2700 calories. You're like just at this stage of prep where it's tough. How how are you finding? I have a couple questions, but I guess the first one is how are you finding yourself having a job where you're on your feet? Where you're relatively active. I know, and one of the reasons I ask is for my first prep, I was an in-person personal trainer. I was on my feet all day, and I really struggled being on my feet all day and being at that part of prep too. It was really tough for me. And then even so, like since then, with the work that I do now, I sit at a computer and like it's still hard and I don't even move that much throughout the day unless it's an intentional walk, like getting steps in. But I guess my question is for you is like how are you doing as far as balancing your prep and how you're feeling with being incredibly lean with having a job that's leaving you on your feet quite a bit.
So schedule, my work schedule is 7. So it's Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then flip flop. So on two, off two, sliding weekends. Um, we work start work day 7:30 to 3 on my feet, and then we get a lunch at 11:30 to 12:30. So during the 11:30 to 12:30, unless we're underway or something, I'm gonna eat, and then we have a recreational room where I will go sit down and just relax for the rest of lunch because I am taxed. And some days are harder than others. Like obviously, um, the job's got to be done, so I'm not gonna bitch and moan and complain that I'm tired. But uh, some days I'm definitely struggling walking around, just trying to focus on what needs to be done. But it's gonna be done because no one else is there to do it. So
Yeah, yeah. I you got to do what you got to do. That's what I'm getting. Um, Something else I'm curious about too is how are you finding things? It's interesting getting to talk to you right now at this stage of your prep. It's like it's just very few people get to the stage that you're at. Like you're in a unique place right now. So and it's cool to get to talk to you while you're just at this very small glimpse of time. But Something that I'm also curious about is how you're feeling as far as like socializing, spending time with
Mhm.
family. Like, do you live close to family? Like, do you have roommates? Do you have people that are close to you in general? Like, do people invite you out to dinner, invite you out to like hang out? And like, if so, how do you manage that? And one of the reasons I ask this is because I know for myself and also with other preppers, Zach, I think you can relate to this too. Is like when you get to this stage of prep, it can be a challenge to navigate things like your social life, where maybe your friends and family do want to go out for dinner, and maybe you're thinking like, well, I don't know how to make this work with the whole prep thing. I'm trying to lose fat, and you're feeling a certain way. Maybe you're tired, you're lethargic. Maybe yeah, you're getting all these prep feelings. So where are you with all of that?
So my family, they live 4 hours away, so I don't really see them. But um, my girlfriend, we don't live together, but she lives down the road, and uh, I told her that prep's going to be prep, and she's
Mhm.
familiar with it. She does powerlifting and bodybuilding, so we're in the same shape. So I told her if she wants to go out to dinner or something, I would like to know in advance, so my mind's not just racing last second. Oh crap! I need to meal prep for dinner tonight early. So like a couple weeks ago, it was her birthday, and she wanted to go to a nice steak and seafood place, and obviously I have a meal plan that I need to follow. So I meal prepped my dinner, and I was like, I don't care what people think. Do you care if I bring my meal prep? And she was like, no. So we went to dinner, and I brought my meal prep. She ordered what she wanted, and I ate what was on the list for dinner that night. So I
Dude,
on
that's so awesome. I love that. You're so disciplined, man. Like I feel
because
like I would cave.
honestly, I'm the type of person like I don't care. Like judge me, go for it. Like I do not care. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna get this no matter what. So like if I'm gonna ask to use your microwave at the restaurant, I'm gonna ask. Did I did they have a microwave at that restaurant? No. So I ate it cold. I do not care. It tasted just as good. So
Yeah, it's
and she was
interesting how your palate tends to change when you're on prep, right? Like the
yeah,
things that like when you're not on prep that you would think like that doesn't taste that good. When
yeah,
you're on prep,
exactly.
you're like, you know what? My cold rice and vegetables and chicken, like that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude, I think that's so awesome that your girlfriend's on board. I think that's something I can't remember who it was we talked to. It was like I think it was Caleb. Um,
Caleb.
that was saying like it's our prep, like it's a team effort, and I think that's something I experienced with my wife last time, and I'm gonna optimize and do better this next prep because I tried to make too many of those sacrifices to kind of find that balance of eating what she made for dinner or whatever. And I remember Sam and I talked about it like after the holidays. It was like, okay, I told my wife like no more. I'm no longer eating whatever you make for dinner. I'm doing my own thing. But I had to clearly articulate that to her so she didn't feel any sort of way. Because although I think I don't know if you feel like this, but like although like we're super goal oriented, I know that I'm only able to do those goals because I have that support system that supports me. And I have to make sure I value her as well, or anyone out there, your family, your friends, the people that are supporting you with it. But I was joking with her the other day. We were literally sitting at dinner, and I was saying, I was like, man, I'm really looking forward to this next prep season after this marathon gets done. And I was like, "Are you looking forward to it, honey?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Absolutely not. She's like, "You don't eat what I eat. You're kind of an asshole sometimes." And I'm like, "Dang, okay, so I need to make that better of uh, not having my emotions kind of come out through the deficit." And that was something I was going to ask you about. How is it with because I know I struggled with this with work. And I think I did a pretty good job with like my relationships with my like family and friends, but I know when I was deep in the prep, I let my personality and my emotions kind of the deficit really affect me. And people mentioned it to me after the show. They're like, "Oh, we can tell a difference in your pep in your step. You were kind of like short, irritable." Have you had those interactions with coworkers, or have you noticed it, or people now understand since you've done a prep and now it's your second one?
I think like my coworkers, they definitely understand because they see how like, because we have a chow hall and galley and stuff. I bring my meals. I've been there over a year and a half, and I've never eaten there. I
Mhm.
always bring my meals, so they know exactly what I'm like and how I do. So they understand that aspect. My girlfriend, I told her, I don't know. I told her 4 weeks out, that's probably when I'm gonna start getting irritated a little bit more over things that maybe I don't get irritated about. And if I do, I'm sorry. She was like, she's super cool. She's totally understanding and she's super supportive. So, and I can't thank her enough for that. And because she's going to be there one day too when I'm not, and I'm going to have to do the same thing. So I think she understands. My parents, um, when I would go visit them, obviously I would cook my meals because that's just how I am.
Mhm.
And I've done it since I told you 2021. I've been tracking my meals. They understand that. And after the show on Saturday, it was actually funny. My mom texted me. She said, "Since you're coming home, is Tori gonna want us to cook dinner, or is she gonna eat your food?" And I just thought that was funny. I was like,
Nice.
"Nah, she'll eat y'all's food. I'll still eat mine." But I thought it was funny.
You can
Yes,
bring
that's
some
awesome.
extra like chicken and rice or whatever it is that you're eating
Yeah,
right now. You can be like, I'm gonna share it with everybody.
yeah,
You guys can all
yeah.
eat what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Um, what are you at this stage? Okay, you're 3 days out. It's insane. At this stage, are you excited for the show? Like, are you excited to be on stage? And if so, what are you excited about? One of the reasons I asked this is I know too, like for me, is like I get to the point where you're at where I start to sometimes, not for every prep, but depending on the prep and where I am in a season, sometimes it becomes like this scale between me being more excited about eating than I am actually about being on stage. So my question for you is like, where's your head right now? Like, are you excited to be on stage, or is it like, are you thinking a lot about food, or like, what's the mental kind of context that you're experiencing right now as far as that goes?
Honestly, I don't crave anything too much. The only thing I it's gonna sound cringy, but only thing I'm gonna crave is more quantity of what I'm already eating. Um, I'm super excited to be on stage because when I competed back in March, um, both sides of my family were out of the country, so they weren't there. The only people who were there was my coach, and that was nice. And um, but this show, I'm giving it my all, and it's actually over in Garner, and I was born in Raleigh, so it's like 20 minutes from there. So my grandparents are going to be there, my aunt and uncle, my parents, my sister. Like, there's going to be so much more people there supporting me, and I just can't wait
Mhm.
to like actually have. And my coach is going to be there, but just actually to have an audience there for me, other than just having an audience there for the other competitors, because
Mhm.
I had one person there for me last show, which was cool, but like it's more cool in my opinion that my parents get to see it in person because they don't know what it's like. They have no clue
Mhm.
what it's like, and I think that they're going to be super excited to see it.
Dude, I love that you said that because I kind of had the same thing. I mean, my wife came down and I had a couple coworkers and some friends come down. My family didn't come down, but I do think it's one of those things where everyone sees you get in shape, especially at work or in social. But if they're not there at the gym seeing you, like with the tan and your peak day and all this sort of stuff, like they have no idea how good you look, right? And then they see you on stage. It's like they're like, "Oh my goodness!" And at least for me, like some people, like it clicks to them about why all the time, the effort, the sacrifices you've made. Um, but I think it's also interesting. I don't. Do you feel like maybe there's a little bit more like for you that digging deeper? Do you think any that has anything to play with it? Where the first show is just you and your coach, you didn't have anyone else, and now you have people that you care about that you feel like you might let down? Does that like motivate you more, or is it just
100%.
happens to work out? Okay, cool.
100%. Definitely having people there is like making me like think, oh shit, I
Mm-hmm.
need to like prove myself to them in person other than just pictures. Because you know, pictures online or pictures don't always do justice. But like
Mm-hmm.
actually having them there, driving X amount of hours, paying for a hotel, this, that, and the other, I'm like, no, I gotta bust my balls so make it worth it for them.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
What is your goal for the show? Like, is it just to go and show your family and friends, everyone there that's supporting you, like, hey, check out what I've been working on? Or is it like, hey, I want to show myself that I've reached my current potential and just present the work that I've put in and show that
Both.
off? Or are you thinking about awesome?
Yeah.
That's
So, sorry. The first show, it was OCB.
Mhm.
And I did that one. I know Zach asked me earlier why, or I forgot which one of you two
Mhm.
asked me why I did that one. It was my first show and it was local. That's why I did that one specifically, because it was 10 minutes away from my house, so I didn't have to get a hotel or anything. So pretty minimum cost. Um, this next one is NPC, so a little different division. I know like the competitiveness of NPC is way harder. You can't just go to one show and get your pro card. And honestly, I like that
Mhm.
because I feel like if you want to be a pro bodybuilder, you shouldn't be able to get a pro card off your first show.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion. But I'm super excited, and I think being against other people in that type of division is pushing me even harder because I have to be better.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
love it.
It's kind of funny because yeah, I remember telling Sam like after the last show, I didn't kind of, and I don't know if you had the same thing. I had no idea really what to expect. It's kind of going in blind, and I didn't know I was going to do as well as I did. But I remember telling him kind of the same thing. Like if I would have won, um, I felt like I wouldn't have deserved it. You know what I mean? Like I think I would have, like in a certain sense, but like to your point, like showing up your first time winning and getting a pro card, like you know what I mean? I feel like I wouldn't have had to pay my dues. And maybe wouldn't have learned as much about myself,
Yeah.
as I potentially could have.
Yeah. I won my class. I didn't win the overall, but I won the class of my first ever show. It was a CPA competition, which is kind of like the equivalent of the NPC, but in Canada. So it was a natural CPA competition. Same kind of structure. Like you could win the overall, but then you'd have to do like an actual like pro qualifying show from there to
Yeah.
actually win the IFBB pro card. But anyways, I ended up winning my class, and that from there I struggled from that point. Like I haven't come first again in my class since then, but it was kind of good because it showed me in the beginning that I had like some potential in the sport, and it lit a fire under my butt to like, or it gave me some fire to keep like chasing it, to show me some potential and to um act as something to keep pushing me to be better, I suppose. That's how I'm looking at it anyways.
For sure.
You peaked. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. No.
I peaked early.
Yeah.
um,
But
yeah. Go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
that was where my thought ended. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think one thing kind of interested in is you mentioned, you went to the gym, you found your trainer, you started, hey, I have a goal now. I've been training. I might as well train for something. And then you signed up for the second show pretty relatively close afterwards. I mean, it's really not that long of a time in between the two shows. And then you mentioned you're going to be underway and you're going to use it as an improvement season. So is this now like a thing? Is this now your like lifestyle? Because I like, was it just a once time I'm going to do a show, and did you get hooked, or when you signed up for that first one, you kind of already had the long vision that you were going to do multiple, continue prepping for this, or was it like you did the one, let me see how it goes, and you're like, man, this is awesome.
So I signed up like the gym, eating healthy, grinding, that's a lifestyle now.
Hmm.
And I I knew that first show that I wanted to see what it was like. Obviously, everyone does. And then afterwards, I was like I knew the gym and everything was a lifestyle. And then after that first show, it like stamped on me like this is definitely a lifestyle. And then I think it was like 3 or 4 days later, my coach he came up to me. He was like, "So what do you think? Do you want to compete again?" And I was like, 1000%. And I was like, he was like, "All right, start looking at shows. Let me know." He gave me like a time frame to like build a little bit and then, start prep again. And I think I came up with a couple that were OCB again. And I think they were going to be in August. So
Hmm.
it wouldn't have been much different than this show. And we talked about it. He was like, "All right, yeah, let's do it." And then he saw that this NPC show came up and that's what he competes in. And he asked me about it. And I was like, "Yeah, let's do that one. I'm down for that one."
Yeah.
And I know March and September aren't that far apart to like grow to like a significant amount because obviously you're going to have to go back on prep. But I wanted to, with my size that I saw, knock out another show this year. And no matter what, if I was going to Bahrain or overseas or not, next year would have been a growing year anyways.
Hmm.
So I wanted to make sure I got another one in this year. And I feel like between March and August was enough time. And I definitely have seen growth. So I can't be more than
Yes.
happy.
Dude, you look awesome.
Appreciate it.
What do you what do you think it is? I'm wondering if you could articulate what about this whole like natural bodybuilding lifestyle that you're so connected with, what's the reason why you like it so much? I know that you mentioned that in the first part of our conversation, like how you initially got into lifting weights and you got hooked to that in particular, but what do you think it is about the lifestyle of lifting and eating well? I know you mentioned like you don't eat outside of unprocessed whole foods, but what do you think it is as far as your liking to the natural bodybuilding lifestyle?
I think what played a huge effect on me liking it as much as I do is just playing sports when I was younger.
Mhm.
Once I graduated high school, I didn't go to college. I enlisted in the military and I was like, dang, I miss my sports. And I feel like it's a sport. It's like, it reminds me of playing sports. And I love doing that as a young child. And I feel like this is now my sport.
Mhm.
So that's why I got hooked to it. And I mean, eating whole foods and training and everything, I feel like as soon as I eat processed foods, I have sensitive skin, so like any sugars will break me out. Um, so that's kind of an easier way to avoid that stuff. And then processed foods just tear up my stomach, seed oils, all that just tear me up, inflame me, make me like I wouldn't say it's eczema, it's more acne, I would say. So I feel like just having those issues also help having a clean diet. So it's easier to eat that way because I know if I don't, then I'm gonna get those side effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So for everyone listening that's concerned about keeping their skin nice and healthy and you're looking up online, like what's the best like skin cream to use? Like, no, just like eat unprocessed whole foods and like eat a healthy diet and like you don't need to go and buy like all the fancy like $60 cans of whatever.
Yeah.
But I can relate to all of that.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny you say that because I feel like my skin definitely got better when I was doing the prep, eating cleaner, stuff like that. And ever since I gave up like soda and fast food and all that other stuff, like 100%.
Because
You just feel better.
back in high school, you know every high schooler's diet, fast food, sugar, and all that. I did struggle with acne bad, and I hated it.
Mhm.
And then when I started eating whole foods and working out, and my diet's been clean, my skin's definitely changed, and I love that, and it's scary to think, oh, if I do get that sugar craving, like, and I eat, something crappy or something, I know that I'm going to deal with the consequence, but
Yeah.
that's why it's easier for me to just avoid it. And after you do it for so long, people are like, "Oh, I have such a sweet tooth, I can't eat whole
Mhm.
foods." Trust me, give it a month. Although
Yeah.
your sweet tooth is going to be craving peanut butter and fruit. That's
Yep.
like those are the sweets, I
Yeah.
say.
The palate
Yeah, yeah,
changes. The palate
Yeah.
changes. Well,
yeah.
interesting question for you. Are you doing anything right now to like any kind of special peak week? Like, are you doing any kind of a carb up or anything like that? Is your coach having you eat it like a separate kind of a meal plan, or what has your process been for your peak week? Or are you kind of just coasting into it with the same kind of dietary parameters that you've been following up to this point?
So we changed it a little bit. I mean, obviously, still whole foods. Cut carbs out at the beginning, and then carb loading towards the end. Water loaded at the beginning. Gonna cut water. I've been drinking 3 gallons since Sunday every day. I'm gonna cut it back, but it's pretty much no to low carbs. Veggies, asparagus pretty much is my only veggie, and then lean proteins. And then started today. Actually, I got some carbs back. So
There they are.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, from what I've seen that you've posted on your Instagram account, you're looking really, really good. It looks like you're going to do really well at your competition. I'm excited to see how you do. It's awesome that you got all your friends and family that's all going to be there to support you. And um, yeah, I think you've been working pretty hard for it. That's
I
for sure.
appreciate it. I'll keep
Yeah.
you
What,
guys
what do you?
posted for sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Zach? Any thoughts? What do you?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I think it's awesome. I think it's great insight that we got from you. Like Sam was saying, a lot of people compete or are thinking about competing and they might only see like, the after people talk about afterwards. So I think it's really cool to get your insight right now. You've competed once and now a second time to give that a little bit difference, the improvements you've made, the mental focus that you've taken with the approach. Like Sam said, you look awesome. I'm glad I'm not competing against you. Because like I would get smoke checked right now.
You're
So
training
it'll
for
be
something a little different, so
yeah, I know. Sam, it reminds me about my constant different training that I'm doing, which is I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm crazy, but
that that's probably got to be harder than what I'm
I
going
don't
through. So
know. I think it's I get to eat a lot right now, so I guess it's not. That's the good thing about it.
yeah,
But
Well, it's funny, Cole, because I think the same thing. It's like, at the end of the day, I'd rather be dieted to the bone than like the prospect of running for miles and miles and miles. Like, man, can't count me out of that.
yeah, 100%,
I'll stick to my low calories.
yeah, while
definitely.
you're crushing it, I'm running a half marathon on Saturday, so we're doing complete opposites. But
Still grinding.
yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Well, I super appreciate it. I know you mentioned you might be up in my neck of the woods, and we will definitely get a training session in together, and that'll be after your show. So it'll be good. We'll be
I
all
love that.
recovered and ready to go. It'll be a good time. Yeah, I guess before we let you go, any last minute thoughts? Maybe if you want to say where we can. I know Sam will probably link it, but if there's anywhere that people want to follow you or anything like that, because obviously with this post, I think it'll be after the show, so hopefully we'll have an update and see how you did. But yeah, kind of any last words?
Uh, yeah, you guys can check me out. I'm on Instagram at Cole Rosebrough and TikTok it's Cole Rose 108. I try to post on there daily, if not every other day.
Sweet.
Primarily on TikTok, but
We'll include the links below. So
awesome. I appreciate it.
for those who are listening, check Cole out. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be the Friday after you compete. So yeah, we'll get to for everyone that looks you up, we'll get to see how everything went. So really exciting, man.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys.